Good evening, gamers. My name is Dr. Steve, and you tuned into x5LIVE. This is the first round of the Mwave comp, the 10v10 BF4 tournament that we're covering, and the teams tonight that we're having a look at are Inception and Volatile. As you all know, the first round of the Mwave Cup for everyone involved is Lockers. Joining me tonight to bring you all the action is Lemmi in the co-caster seat. How are you going tonight, Lemmi?
I'm doing very well tonight, Dr. Steve. I'm looking forward to a great match tonight, mate.
Yeah, excellent stuff. And we've also got Psyfox in the camera van. How are you going tonight, Psy?
Yeah, good mate, good. I'm looking forward to casting the game between these two guys, Volatile and Inception. I haven't exactly heard of either of them before, but that's probably just my own ignorance. But it seems like I think one of them is a new team to the scene, so it's always good to see new clans getting into it.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research before we came on tonight. Inception sitting 11th on the CG ladder and Volatile in 20th. However, we can't really use those ratings because there haven't been a whole lot of games on the CG ladder as yet. Inception say that they used to be a competitive PS3 team that have made the transition over to PC. So it'll be interesting to see how those guys go and how much PC experience that they have had. But they've had a couple of wins in the CG ladder so far. Volatile have been undefeated in their couple of games in the CG ladder and are starting to make their way up. So as this is the first round of the Mwave comp, it'll be interesting to see how they both go. I know that Lemmi has a bit of experience with the Volatile guys. He's new to their ranks. What are your feelings? Who are the guys to look out for on the Volatile team tonight, Lemmi?
Look, I'd definitely be looking out for Generic. He's got a lot of skills. A couple of the Volatile boys have YouTube channels and that sort of thing. I reckon the ones who have those channels are the ones to look out for. We have Briggs, Generic, Ghost, Shipsy. They're the players I'd mostly be looking out for, although we do have a fairly well-rounded roster. And yeah, look, they're really underrated, and that's a big reason why I decided to jump over with them.
No, that's excellent. And yeah, from the guys over on Inception, I know that Toombs is one of the captains there. I had a little bit of a chat to him before the match, but I'll be interested to see how those guys line up. Making the transition from PS3 is going to be a little bit difficult, but look, if you've been able to mix it with a control pad and do quite well, then transition over to the mouse should make it a little bit easier in the long run. Tonight we are on Lockers, being the first round of the Mwave Cup. We know that Lockers goes from left to right, and we've got 3 flags in the middle, 3 capable flags, A, B and C, and so that means that we will see most of these guys on the bleed all of the time. So we want to see the guys coming out of the gates early, getting their home flag, their gimme flag, the A and C flags closest to the base, and then just the hell for leather shit fight over the B flag in the middle, and then we get a little bit of the skirmishes on the outside, the running around there. What are you anticipating to see? What would you like to see from a good rollout on Lockers, Psyfox?
Well, basically, I'd like to see both teams go for the C flag. The C flag is pretty integral. I know in all the matches that we've played in Salad, we've pretty much tried to get someone like either support or recon straight into the middle and detonating the tower in the middle, because I mean, if you get the tower in the middle and the tower remains up, it becomes really hard to recap that point. But if you destroy that and it becomes the lower area cap point, it becomes a lot easier for teams to get in there and get that point without too much trouble from those up in heaven.
Yeah, the Levolution does tend to change around that B point quite a bit in terms of the cap radius and what you need to do to get on there. So we have seen a couple of the guys in the Immunity Cup decided to do the Levolution there and change up the dynamics of that B point. Lemmi, from your perspective, what have you found has worked well on the Lockers map?
Look, if you've got a couple of flags, I reckon you really need to lock down outside. If you've got 2 flags, then as long as you have 1 or 2 blokes outside to make sure nobody gets through, then there will be no back capping, and it'll be a much easier outcome for whoever's doing that strat, Dr. Steve.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now these guys are taking a little bit of time to get themselves organised, and I think if we're going to keep going like this, we're going to run out of stuff to say. So what we might do is just cut away to a little bit of music, and we'll sort out when they're coming back in, so we can get this underway. You right with the music there, Fox?
Yeah, definitely. And just before we do that, just learning that Inception are coming over from PS3, and as you were saying before, they've got to do a bit of adjustment from the controller. It definitely is a lot harder to aim with the controller as opposed to a mouse. And we've had an Xbox player come over to one of our teams previously, and he was more of a vehicle player, and he tried 4v4 Squad Rush back in BF3 on Xbox, sorry. And he just said that he was just not able to keep up with them at all. So hopefully these PS3 boys, have that skill and have managed to adjust to the whole mouse settings and are able to prove themselves to be a strong team. But we'll cross over to some music and then see what happens when the game starts.
Excellent stuff. Thanks, mate. Good evening, gamers. My name is Dr. Steve, and we're getting into the action round 1 of Mwave Comp. We've got Inception and Volatile. They've rolled out. We've had some issues with the server, but we're on our way. Both teams are quickly capping up their flags. We've got Volatile starting on the blue US side, and the Russian guys are Inception. Streaming onto the B point are both teams now. So we're seeing a couple of those guys starting to get the early kills in now. We've got Generic taking down Dokaru and a few other kills happening in on that B point. It looks like the guys from Volatile may have the upper hand. They've got that cap early on that B point, and quite a few kills. There we go. We've already had a little bit of Levolution going on. Looks like we've had a couple of the C4 packs put on the bottom of that B point, and that's going down at the moment there, Lemmi.
Yeah, look, we did see 3 players from the Volatile team push outside and 2 from the Inception team pushing outside. So Volatile were able to lock out that outside section near the bird's nest. But we are seeing a strong push from Inception onto the B flag, although it looks like Volatile have secured that one, mate.
They've got a couple of guys in there, but the guys from Inception are pushing in quite hard and getting a couple of kills at the moment. Illicit taking down Giggling Bits and a few other kills coming in there thick and fast. Now it looks like the guys from Inception have got the upper hand, starting to get a little bit of cap work done on that centre B point. But here we go, we've got Ghost coming in from Volatile coming in, Chipsy's there as well, Giggling Bits and Generic all in there. There we go. B point's been capped up by the guys from Inception, but they're going to have a fair few guys from Volatile in there getting a little bit of kills happening in there. Briggs getting a double, Illicit and 3vac going down to his Scar H, and still a few kills coming around that B point at the moment there, Lemmi.
Yeah, we saw Inception actually get back onto that A flag. They've actually turned around and gone to defend their middle flag. I don't know what they were thinking. They should have just kept pushing on that A flag for Inception, as we do see Wolfie taking down Briggs with the ACWR, and we do see Inception actually keeping and hanging onto this middle B flag.
Yeah, they're doing a good job, and there are a lot of kills happening in that B point. Illicit's just gone down. I think it was Ghost that got in with the AEK. But yeah, the guys from Inception doing a good job to hold on to that B point with a lot of pressure that's being put on by Volatile. Briggs is in there with his mate Giggling Bits. Giggling Bits has just gone down to 3vac. Shipsy takes down Tombs at that B point. Here we go. The guys from Volatile getting a few people in there. Shipsy's by himself. He's got Red Panda to contend with, and we're just having a quick look. He's underneath that broken dish at the moment. There we go. Shots coming over. Shipsy's got a double kill taking down Red Panda and Tombs. Great work from him, and I think he's got a few guys falling off him now, spawning up Ghost and also Briggs, so helping him secure up that point in the middle there. Another one, Tombs taking down a teammate with a headshot, and Rumple's taking down Dokaru with a headshot. So lots of stuff happening around that B point. There's also some action happening around the top, as well as a couple of those guys. Looks like the Inception boys keeping the top path clear at the moment, Lemmi.
Yeah, Inception have got the advantage outside, although Volatile are going to cap this B flag. B flag will go to Volatile here, as they do get Inception on the bleed, although Inception do have about 5 or 6 players closing in around on this B flag, and they are pushing down out of the bird's nest from outside, and they are pushing onto that flag. We do see Volatile trying to get up that ladder, trying to cut them off before they jump down, but Inception are all over this B flag like a fat kid on a cupcake, mate.
That's it. They love the beat, and they're getting into it. Tombs is there. He's got his mate Red Panda, and I think what have we got? The Chipsy and also Wolf getting a kill in there. Lots of kills coming over at the moment. It looks like Inception were making a point. Chipsy was getting himself there, but the dude is getting himself on point. He's there with Red Panda. He was there with Tombs, but Tombs has gone down. So this point is exchanging hands very quickly between both of the teams. B point is where they want to be. Ticket card reads pretty much even at the moment, 324 to 325 in favour of the guys from Volatile, but there we go. It's just gone even Stevens for both teams at the moment. So B point is now in the hands of Volatile, and it'll help them getting a little bit of a ticket margin Inception getting themselves ahead a bit, and there we go. We've already seen it blow out 10 tickets in that time where I was waffling on. I might cross over to the cameraman Psyfox to see what he's getting a hold of at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are really struggling for that B point at the moment. In Inception, you know, they held it at first, and they really held a lot of players up in heaven, which is really imperative for holding that B point. But the guys from Volatile were holding the point up at heaven, and I saw one of the Inception guys throw a nade up there and managed to take out 2 or 3 guys, which was fantastic. And Volatile don't really have much of a defense on A point for a while, and you know, it would have been great for Inception to go for that point earlier, and they have done that. They recently just sent a few players in there, and now they're taking it, but they're getting a bit of a resistance here because they've got 3 Volatile players spawning on the point at the moment, so it looks like there's going to be a bit of a focus on A and keeping that point, and maybe draw a few players away from B and then see what happens from there, Steve.
Yeah, as you said, A is the focus for Inception now. Tombs is there, Red Panda's there, also Illicit's there, doing a good job. Dude's just spawned in, and he's just gone down to the hands of running through the list. Can't see it, so we'll move on from the A point that those guys from Inception have just capped themselves. They needed to get themselves off the bleed, and they've done a good job. Although in saying that, it's been a push over onto the C point by Volatile. Lemmi, what can you see there, mate?
Oh, mate, it's backcap city at the moment. We've got backcaps happening everywhere. We've got 2 players. Who we got here? Can't call it at the moment, but they will have a lot of defense on that C flag. They are trying to cap it. I am surprised that they're not going down yet. There's a lot of action happening on that C flag. Back to you, Steve.
Yeah, excellent stuff. And just having a quick look around there, the guys from Volatile have managed to hold off the big defensive push coming over there. Rumples, Briggs, and Synergent doing a good job there. We do have Gitmoz in there, but he's just gone down to the Rumples, man. So good stuff from both teams, but it looks like we might have a just about an ultimate cap out from the guys from Volatile. They did manage to have all 3 flags at one point in time, but Inception are kicking back, getting a couple of guys respawning in on that A point, getting that one slowly but surely capped up. There we go, it's just gone in their favour. Neon Genesis getting the finishing touches there. Scorecard reads 292 to 244 in favour of the guys from Volatile at the moment, so they've got themselves off to a nice early lead. Dokaru and Red Panda from Inception have got themselves back onto the C point, so they're getting that one capped up, but they do have Rumples, who's hiding in a back corner along with his mate Briggs, so they're putting a little bit of pressure doing that back cap work there. But it looks like Inception are getting themselves across the board. They've got themselves on A, they've got themselves on C, and we've also got a couple of their boys on the B point at the moment. Wolfie was there, but he's just gone down to Mormagill in there, and Illicit was in around there, but he's also just gone down. So there's a lot of stuff happening, and A's flashing, B's flashing, caps are just being flashing all over the place. I might have a quick look at the scoreboard and see who's doing the job there. Red Panda is leading the way for the guys from Inception, 15 kills and 5 deaths. Briggs is doing the work for Volatile with 13 kills, 9 deaths there, Lemmi.
Yeah, well, Inception have done incredibly well. They've maintained that outside area, and it's been what's been able to provide them with those solid pushes on the back cap with the A flag. And now that they've got it, they're holding it, and they're not leaving it, and they're keeping that outside. It's all theirs. The big problem for them is that Volatile seem to just be pushing from their base to hit the A flag, which is what they're actually doing right now. They've got a full squad on that A cap. They will take that flag. I've got no doubts about that. However, Inception are coming in hot and heavy on the B flag, mate.
Yeah, they are, and they do have a few guys in there. It's hard to break through, and we do know that the cap point is now at the bottom after that Levolution event, taking down that Gunner's Nest in the middle. So it is going to be hard for these guys to push in for Inception, but they're doing the job at the moment, getting themselves in a good position. The dudes there, also Tombs is in there, and they've got that one almost 3/4 capped up. Still lots of kills coming in there. Giggling bits from Volatile taking down Neon Genesis. We've also got Red Panda taking down Generic. So lots of kills still coming over, and the guys from Inception have managed to cap up that B point. They've got themselves on B and C, and they're on got for Volatile on the bleed. Scorecard reads 241 to 224 in favour of the guys from Volatile, but Volatile are on the bleed, and we will see that margin tick down very slowly, Lemmi.
Yeah, we are seeing the second wave of pushes come out. Volatile did get into a sticky situation and lost that fight, so they are looking to make this second push. They've managed to get 2 or 3 outside. One's pushing, although they probably will get taken out here. So looks like the defense is absolutely outstanding from Inception, mate.
Yeah, they're doing, as Psyfox said, they're doing a good job keeping a couple of guys in Deadpool, waiting for the call that someone is coming back to B or C, and just getting those guys to spawn in when they're absolutely needed, not having them run around willy-nilly during the match, get them in when they're most needed. Tombs getting a nice kill on that middle point, taking down Generic with the AEK 971. We've also got Giggling Bits taking down Tombs, so lots of exchanging going on in that middle, but the kills are coming on fast as Volatile are really desperate to get themselves onto a second flag. We haven't seen them make the push outside as yet. They're really settling on hunkering in and doing their best to do that B flag over and losing lots of tickets in the process. 186 to 215 now in favour of the guys from Inception. We'll cross over again to Psyfox in the camera van to give us a bit of an overview.
Yeah, it seems like the Volatile guys are really desperate to get that B point at the moment, but they didn't seem to have too much of a push outside. The Inception guys, from what I was just seeing, had like a full squad outside waiting for an outside push, and the only people that were coming in from Volatile to the B point were from either the bottom side or the top side of the B point. Nothing was coming from outside, but once Inception realised that everyone was coming from inside instead of outside, they started pushing more people towards the inside, and Volatile have actually managed to get that cap point. So Inception seem to be regrouping on C point at the moment, and hopefully we'll see a bit of an outside push.
Yeah, great stuff. Lemmi was saying something before. It was an almost cap out from the guys from Volatile, although we still have home bases to spawn from. The guys from Volatile doing a good work there, Lemmi.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Memory was beyond me there. But anyway, getting back to the action, Volatile have pulled their players back off that C flag to defend the B flag, and they are using all of their infantry and spreading them between the outside and the inside location. They are sending one man back on the A flag, but we're seeing some good defense, and what a cracker of a match. It's been neck and neck all game, and it's been brilliant to watch, Dr. Steve.
Yeah, excellent stuff. These guys are making the Inception, are making the push onto the B point. They're coming through the tunnels, and they're also making a push along the tops. We're getting Gitmoz doing a little bit of a job outside. He's just been taken down by Shipsy there, and Shipsy was also taken down by Dakaru. So lots of exchanging of kills happening as these guys from Inception making their way across the snow pass. It looks like Wolfie might be stretching his legs, running towards the A point. So we'll see how he goes there, whether he's got any guys that might be spawning off him shortly. He will be running into 3 of the guys from Volatile that have just spawned up. Rumples is there with Shipsy, and also we've got Synergent in there, so this will be interesting. He's just been taking down the Wolfie man, so we do have those 3 guys that I just spoke about from Volatile before making their way across the snow, and great work from Shipsy taking down Gitmoz in the snow outside. Dakaru's also just gone down, so it might be a big push coming from the outside for the team that is Volatile onto that C point, or maybe they're just going to use that to defend up on the B point and secure that up as best as they can. Here we go, another big push outside from the Inception team. Scorecard is back in favour of the guys from Volatile. 164 tickets reads 125, so this to and fro is really becoming interesting as Inception now putting themselves onto the B point again, Lemmi.
Yeah, they have got themselves into a good position, but they poked a little bit too much. They do have 3 players on the B flag capping it at the moment. The problem for Volatile at the moment is they're all up in the bird's nest, they're outside, they're not actually concentrating on what's going on that B flag. However, they have defended it. Good job. And they are still fighting in the ladder area where the bird's nest is, just when you come outside and go into the B point, and they are somehow still spawning up. They're still there, and they've managed to do quite well against the Volatile boys, although it's just a spawn battle at the moment, as we do see 3 boys from Inception rolling in from outside, going straight into the bird's nest, full squad going in. They're looking for that B flag, as we do see some Volatile boys push onto the C flag, and this is an absolute cracker.
Yeah, this might be getting a little bit costly for the Inception boys. They're down to 78 tickets versus 151 to Volatile. So Inception now making the push. They've given up on that B point, which might be a little bit safer for them, and making the push over onto A. But it looks like that's being responded to as Sens is in there, and he's got the double kill. He's managed to take down Gitmoz and also his mate that was coming from him from the Inception side. So whatever hope they had of getting that A point has been snuffed out now, and they're having to fall back onto C Inception to keep themselves with a flag in hand at this point. 146 reads, 53. Back over at the scoreboards, Red Panda leading the way for Inception, 29 kills, 10 deaths, but Wolfie, shout out to him from Inception, 32 kills, 17 deaths for that man. Rumpel's leading the way for the Volatile guys, 25 kills, 16 deaths, as we do see Inception now starting to make the push onto B, streaming out of those tunnels and poking a little bit, getting a little bit of a look in and making the push out, Lemmi.
Yep, this might be the last roll of the dice for this round for Inception. They are getting a little bit of a cap on. They can't be too hesitant at this point. They really need to get onto a flag. They can't be too concerned about the kills. They really need to get themselves into a position where they can be capping a flag, because that's paramount. That's exactly what they need right now, and we do see a push outside, but we are seeing spawners come up, and there's a big push onto B. It might be their last chance. Dr. Steve, you call it?
Yeah, excellent stuff. We do see these guys starting to make the push. Takaru's there. He's got his mate Total with him, who's just been taken down. Generic is there and did a good job over on him. 3vac is making the way down, or up the stairs actually, and getting a kill there, taking down Bipolar, doing a good job there, as Gitmoz takes down Rumpels in and around the action. And there we go. B point has just been capped up by the guys from Inception, and not too late at all. We've got 130 tickets, reads 12. So Inception have got themselves back with the 2 flag advantage, and just need to hold themselves in a good position. They can't lose too many tickets, but they can't lose that flag either. The stairwell looks to be where all the action is at the moment, and lots of trading between the guys happening there, and it looks like the guys from Volatile might have the advantage, but they do have 4 guys up stairwell making the push down now. There we go. Ghost has just dropped down, making his way onto that flag point. Oh, we've also got them streaming out from the tunnels. Volatile just putting a complete Zerg rush onto that B point, getting all the kills on the way through, and it looks like there is no one. Red Panda's just gone down from Inception, and there's no one left from Inception. I think they're just holding in Deadpool at the moment, just saying Dakaru and Total are the only ones alive on the Inception team, and they're just working out what the best thing for them to do is. It might be to spawn up on C. They've only got 3 alive. Here we go, the music's playing 1, and we've rounded out. 103 tickets is the margin in favour of the US side that was Volatile in that first round. Really to and fro at the beginning of the game, but sort of towards the end, the guys from Volatile stamped their mark of authority. I'll run through and just a couple of notable mentions on the scoreboard. Ghost leading the way for Volatile with 22 kills, 16 deaths. Rumpels seconding that with 26 kills and 18. Over on the guys from Inception, we've got 34 kills for the Red Panda man. Wolfie also getting the 30 bomb, 37 kills for that man, and Dude GTFO with 31 kills. So that's the scoreboard for the first round. What are your thoughts on that first round of the match, Lemmi?
It was outstanding, mate. It was competition right to the very end. I almost thought Inception were going to pull it back when they had the 2 flag cap and about 10 tickets to go, but look, credit goes to Volatile, and I'm looking forward to the next round, mate.
Excellent stuff. Psyfox, from your point of view, how do you think things went?
I think things went pretty well for both teams. Like, Volatile just seemed to be all over it, just around all of the points. As soon as it got taken, it didn't take them too long to get back into a defensive position on the B point, but I noticed while watching the Inception team, like they're really good with coordinated attacks. I noticed them gathering around the entrance to the lower B area as well as the outside. So the guys obviously have tactics involved and they know how to work as a team. And it'd be good to see them, you know, just get a bit more practice and, you know, learn how to push those things a lot better. I reckon they'll be a really strong team if they get a bit more practice into it.
Great stuff, and we are live for the second round. They've gone straight into it, and B point is where all the action is at the moment. Some early kills, Shipsy getting a double, taking down Red Panda and Wolfie, the top scorers from Inception from the first round. So early on in that match, he's done a good job taking out those guys, and still got a few things happening around here at the moment. So lots of stuff happening in and around the B point. So the guys from Volatile getting the early cap, they are the red side. They've switched over to Russia in this second round, which means that Inception are on the US side, the blue side. Lemmi, what can you see after that first rollout?
Inception are pushing one bloke down onto the C flag for the back cap. They do have a lot of numbers around the B flag. They just haven't decided what they really want to go for. I think they're just circling B. They have no idea that Volatile didn't have too many members there. Then they could have just gone right onto it. But instead, they choose to go into the ladders, into the bird's nest, and just fight around a little bit, to be quite frank. But to be honest, they're doing quite well. They're pushing. They're getting the kills, as we do see Red Panda taking out Generic, Total taking out More McGill, and yeah, mate, back over to you.
No, excellent stuff. Yeah, we do see, here we go, there's a little bit of push happening on those stairs at the moment. Ghost has taken down Red Panda, Dude taking down Rumpel. So a little bit of action as these guys from Inception now making their way. It looks like Wolfie's got the C4 onto that middle point and will be levolutioning that center crow's nest area. So that will come down and we will see the cap point now fall to the lower levels, which will only aid the guys from Inception in those tunnels as they make their way around. So a little bit of stuff happening to change the way that this is. I don't think he got this last C4 where he needed it, the Wolfie man, so he might need to give that a shot again, or he might just have to wait until he gets some more C4 or someone else to spawn up. So he's making the push on foot up towards the top and getting some nice kills in and around there. He's got the double taking down Mormagil and also Ghost with a headshot, and it looks like he's just gone down to Syngent there. Red Panda taking down Bipolar, and it looks like the guys from Inception again having a hard time pushing onto that B point. The lockdown that the guys from Volatile have had is quite strong, and it makes it really hard for these Inception boys to get themselves in and around the point. 374 tickets to 308 in favour of Volatile, so off to an early lead there, Lemmi.
Yeah, we see Wolfie on top of the scoreboard with 8 kills and 3 deaths, but getting back to the action, B flag's just been levolutionized. It's gone down, it's off the map for a couple of seconds, but it'll come back up. We do see Volatile making a full squad push onto the B flag, nearly said squid, and we see Inception making a counter push. Oh, it's all on here now, mate.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, lots of being exchanged. Senza getting 2 kills, taking down Dakaru and Gitmoz. We've also got Genesis taking down Rumpels, Total taking down Senza, Wolfie taking down Synergent, Mormagil taking down Wolf. So lots of stuff happening, and it looks like the guys from Volatile have the upper hand at this stage, but it's not over at this center point at the moment. Illicit's there, getting some shots over. He took down Shipsy as Neon Genesis takes down Synergent, taking down Giggling Bits as well. So doing great stuff for Inception there. He's firing up with the pistol now, seeing whether he's able to get any other shots over, but B point is still in the hands of Volatile, but flashing away. We do have Toombs, the captain from Inception, who almost got that one grade up, but it looks like he got taken down by Mormagil, and that one will be going back. The B point will be going back in favour of Volatile. So heaps of stuff happening, but just having a look at the other 2 flags now, we do have Inception that have managed to cap themselves up the C point as in that break there, and that's being recapped up by Shipsy as I say that, mate.
Yeah. Sorry, Lemmi, I just wanted to interrupt here for a second, but it just seems to me that Inception aren't really going for the back caps just enough, because for the most of the last game, there was way too much focus on the B point, and Volatile generally put a lot of players on that B point from what I was seeing, and it's going to make them really hard for them to, you know, recap that point when they're all in defensive positions and they've got all their players there ready to defend against it. So I would like to see them do backcaps more, and I did see something really nice from Gitmu's last map. He managed to clear the area outside Heaven on the outside in the snowy area. He killed someone and then went back for 2 of his teammates who had been down for a little bit, just to get those 2 extra tickets back for his team, which is, you know, fantastic teamwork. Like, those couple of caps can make the biggest difference, especially when you're at the end of the map and you're trying to bleed the other team for as many tickets as possible. Like, those kind of things make the biggest difference. And hopefully Inception get a little bit more practice through Mwave and learn how the PC players play compared to the PS3 players, and ended up, you know, adjusting and being a pretty formidable team.
Okay, back to you, Lemmi.
Yeah, as we see there, we've got great stuff from Psyfox, and always happy to be here with Dr. Steve. But back to the action, we've got Volatile, who have capped up A and C flags. They're making a 2-pronged attack with about 3 or 4 men onto the B flag, and we've got, oh, it looks like a Inception bloke snuck through. No, he gets taken out by Rumples with the AAK 971. It was Dude GTFO, who I saw get an outstanding triple kill last game. We are seeing Volatile, though, push in for this 2-pronged attack. We do see them pushing from A. Inception have got a player, a sneaky little panda, capping that A flag, but we'll see what Volatile can do, and we'll see if Inception can hold this B point, mate.
Yeah, it's actually the guys from Volatile that have got A and C at the moment. So it's Dokaru has spawned in from the US side, and he's getting that gimme flag, the A point. He's doing that one all right by himself. Red Panda came back to see what he was up to, but he's making his way back up the ice path and coming onto the stairs now. He may run into Gitmu's, who's in and around that point as well. As here we go, Inception are making the push onto that B point. They need to get themselves a second flag and get themselves off the bleed, but we'll see what happens there. 239 tickets to 284 in favour of the red team of Volatile, as these guys are getting themselves staged to keep keep the throttle down and keep the pressure off that B point. They're doing a good job in defense at the moment, locking down that B point quite well, as the guys from Inception really trying to push in, but getting taken down. Shipsy took down Neon Genesis, Rumples with the AEK taking down Gitmoz, and also Synergent taking down Total. So lots of stuff still happening around that B point that has been knocked down, and we're just seeing what's happening around the bottom of that point, Lemmi.
Yeah, I'm just watching Inception's Illicit. He's pushing in on the C flag now. He's going in for the back cap. He does take out, he manages to take out Volatile's Senza. He's going to be looking to get some players spawn on him ASAP, as we do see 2 Volatile boys pushing back to defend, and we do see Bipolar, taking out Illicit. Back to you, Dr. Steve.
Excellent stuff. I might have another chat to Psyfox, see what his overview's giving the streamers a view of.
Yeah, I was just watching the guy from Inception doing the little push on C, and he was doing a good job of it. Like, he was in a perfect position to, you know, get into a place where he could get a few squad mates spawn on him and get the point. But, you know, I saw him take down one player. He was left on about 2% health, I think, and he ran into one of the little side rooms in order to get his health back. But he started peaking again while he was on about 30 or 40% health, which is just not a good idea in a competitive match. Like, if you're trying to come up against someone with half health, it's not good. You really need to know exactly where that person is, and, you know exactly how to take them down. But yeah, a little bit of a mess up, but, you know, they're learning, I think.
Great stuff, and we do see.
Problem.
What's that, mate?
Tombs is going to be a bit of a problem on that C flag, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He's got himself in a nice position there, and it looks like the Inception boys have already got themselves A and B, although B is in contention. But Toombs has got himself hidden quite well away in one of those rooms, and there we go. C has just gone grey. I'm just wondering whether he will have anyone spawning off him anytime soon. But he's all right by himself right now, as the guys from Volatile. There we go. He's got a mate that's come off him now. It's Red Panda that's sitting in the other side of the room. They will cap up that C point. There we go. 2 flags back in favour of the guys from Inception. So they lost B, they've gained C. 184 tickets to 213. Still pretty close, but in favour of the guys from Volatile still, Lemmi.
Yeah, we've got a push from Volatile on the C flag. Inception have 2 blokes there, as one gets taken down. I'm not sure which one that was, it went too fast for me, but we do see a full squad on C. They will battle it out on C, as we do see Inception push onto B. It's all happening. It's hard to keep up with. Back to you, Steve.
Excellent stuff. It is hard to keep up with, as these guys again from Inception making the push on. Dude is coming in. Oh, Wolfie just got taken down really quickly by Shipsy. Shipsy on the mark, getting the kill over nice and quickly. Also taking down Total in there, but goes down to 3 back. So Shipsy taking down 2, but getting taken down himself. Lots of kill exchanging happening in and around this middle point at the moment. B was under a bit of pressure, but the guys from Inception are having a hard time. But they have managed to grey that up. Just having a quick look now. Volatile have got 3 guys in there that have spawned up, but it looks like most of those guys have been wiped out. Red Panda doing a good job taking down Synergent there, and it looks like these guys from Inception have got themselves back with the 2 flag advantage. 157 reads 187. 103 was the margin in the first round to Volatile, so we will see this coming down very closely to what will be the end of the match, but lots of stuff still happening as Volatile streaming out of those doors and coming into the B point. They've got themselves, actually most of them are through the bottom tunnels, getting themselves onto the B point. They've already grayed that up and are pushing for the cap now. The guys from Inception are starting to put the pressure back on, but it looks like Volatile will have that capped up very shortly, Lemmi.
Yeah, Volatile are on the ground at B. Inception, the biggest problem for Volatile right now is Inception are up in the bird's nest and sending people down. I'm not sure who's going to get it. There's only 2. There's 1 member left for Volatile on the flag. 2 member. Another member just spawned up. They're down on the dome. They're having a look. It's Inception. Inception's got that flag. It was well defended by Inception, and hats off to the punters over there.
Excellent stuff. Over to you, Psyfox.
Yeah, Inception are really going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat at the moment. I don't think they commit enough to flag capture points. There just seems to be way too much focus on the B flag at the moment. It seems like both teams are really determined to keep that flag. Whenever either team has it, they put a whole lot of defenders on it. And I'm not really seeing, the back caps and people going around for the flag switches, and like the best way to get people off defending one flag is to go and start assaulting another flag. Then you get all the spawns there, but it just doesn't seem like anything like that is happening at the moment. It would be good to see that, but at the moment, I think both teams are doing fairly well.
Yeah, great stuff. And just seeing the B has been capped up by Inception, but Volatile have got graded back up again. So a quick exchange, a good exchange. The guys from Volatile really putting the pressure back on. 131 apiece at the moment, so it's gone even Stevens. But the guys from Volatile getting the 2 flag advantage and making an absolute Zerg push over onto the A point. I've got Ghost, Bipolar, Mormagil, Giggling Bits, and also Generic, all on that A point. They'll cap that up super fast. We've got Red Panda coming in by himself. He's going to say, what the fuck is going on there? We've got 4 guys in there, but he's managing to do a couple of kills. Takaru also getting a kill in there. So lots of stuff happening as the B point is now under contention, as Inception getting themselves in and around there as well, mate.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about before. I mean, like, obviously, Volatile knew that they were going to lose that B point, so they started putting a lot of players onto the A point, put pressure on that, capped it, and now, they pretty much just traded flags and have ended up in the same situation as before, because there's no point trying to spawn a whole lot of people onto that B point if they've got their whole team there. So why not take a flag that's most likely undefended and then try and you know, draw players away from that point that you really need, Steve.
Yeah, back to you, Lemmi.
Yeah, we've seen Volatile. They've capped up the B point. We're seeing Inception fight it out on the A point. Yeah, back to you, Steve, mate. Sorry.
No, that's great. And we have seen the tickets actually fall below the point of no return or the guys from Inception. So we will see Volatile walk away with the win for this first round match of the Mwave Cup. But it's not over yet. We still have a fair few tickets to get through. So we'll cover off as much as we can as these guys continue to fight over the B point. So that we do have a couple of the guys making their way in now. The guys from Inception have capped up on B. So they do hold themselves B and C points, and also pushing some guys over onto the A point. So they may have themselves 3 flags in a moment, but it will do them no good. We've got a couple more pushing on for Volatile onto that B point, so they may regain that B point. Mormagill's there, Ghost is there, Briggs is there, Senza's there, and also Generic. So lots of guys from Volatile in and around that B point getting the pressure on. Kills coming over thick and fast. Giggling Bits taking down Synergen, Ghost taking down Tombs, Wolfie taking down the Mormagill man, and Giggling Bits getting a double with the Ace 23, Illicit and the Dude all in there on the end of his gun. So lots of stuff happening in there. 2 points still being held by the guys from Inception. C and A are both held there, and they've got guys spawning in from both of those, doing a bit of a pincer maneuver onto that B point. So it'll be interesting to see whether this will pay off, or whether those guys spawning up from Volatile's home base are going to be able to regain that C point. So we do have Mormagill and Generic coming from their home base. It looks like they're passing straight past the C point, maybe sitting on the outside getting a cap there, although Mormagill has just gone down. It looks like it was the Dude getting a couple of shots on him, but Generic has taken him down. So C point is now being secured up by those guys from Volatile that are making their way back in. Mormagill, also Generic, and being supported by 3 others, Syngent, Briggs and Senza, all coming back to that C point to recap that. 63-60 in favour of the guys from Inception, but that ticket margin may not be with them much longer as Volatile are making their way back onto that C point there, Lemmi.
Yeah, it's all happening. There's 3 flags being capped at the moment. We see we do see two people on the A flag, 3 people for Volatile. They're mass spawning the A flag. Inception, on the meantime, they're mass spawning the B flag. They're going to get those 2 flags. That's exactly what they need. As Volatile only have 2 players on that B flag, and yes, they've got it. Inception have that 2nd flag, and they're looking to push onto the A flag. They've got nothing left to lose, so they're going pedal to the metal, balls to the floor. As we see 2 players sneaking outside onto the A point, although we do see Inception pulling up with the 2 flags and not really pushing out there, Steve.
Yeah, they are making the pin there. Dakaru looks like he got a bit of a kill in there, making his way there. But Gitmoose has gone down, and also, there we go, Dakaru has gone down to Senza. So the push over onto A was a bit fruitless, and good defense for the Volatile boys in there. Senza picking up his mate Briggs so they can continue on defending, and C point is back over to C, having a quick look. It is in the hands of Inception, but is being contested. Mormagill's in there, and so is Bipolar for Volatile, and they've managed to grey that one up. But there's guys hiding around there from both teams. Dakaru's in there, Tombs is in there, and Dude is in there for Inception, getting themselves into good hiding spots. But Mormagill's not moving anywhere. He's happy just to sit there and do nothing. Generic's having a bit of a run around, and Bipolar's just spawned up. Generic's just gone down to Tombs, who's making his way through all of the action. So lots of stuff still happening around that C point. B's just being greyed up. A's just being greyed up. No one's got a flag at the moment. They're all being exchanged. A will be, there we go, secured up by the guys from Inception. B's been secured up by Volatile, and C will be secured by Inception as well. So great stuff from Inception to get themselves with 2 flags. It looks like they've got themselves the ticket lead at this late stage, so they're not going to walk away with a total loss. They will have a round win, but overall they won't have the ticket margin to overcome the 103 tickets that we saw in the first round, Lemmi.
Yeah, there was 1 bloke left on the C flag of Volatiles, and Inception wasn't able to pick that guy out. So a full squad spawned in for Volatile on C, as we do see Inception cleaning up the Volatile boys, and they will cap that flag back. So we will see Inception taking away this second round, Dr. Steve.
Excellent stuff. I'll go over to Psyfox for a little bit of a wrap-up before we lose all of our tickets.
Yeah, well, the game's ended there. I mean, it was a pretty close match overall, and I'm going to have a little bit of a whinge, but I think that's just what I do best. And like in the first round, I saw, I think it was Volatile using some smoke grenades, and while they're not as great as the smoke grenades through the N320s were in BF3, they are still very useful, and I'm not really seeing those used anywhere near enough, as well as the flashbangs. Like, flashbangs are pretty new to the Battlefield community, but you know, they're a very, very old mechanic, being a part of Counter-Strike since, you know, pre 1.0. I did see a lot of coordinated attacks from Inception, which I think that they've got to keep working on, and I think that'll be a really strong point for them. And like during that match, even though Inception had already lost, you know, they kept playing their hardest and they ended up coming back to win at 40 tickets to nil, which is a great attitude, because no matter what team you're playing, you really need to be going into it with the attitude that you're playing the absolute best team there is out there, and just to give it your all. Lockers isn't a great map for Battlefield, considering Battlefield is, you know, a vehicle type game. But Volatile just ended up being the better team in the end, and you know, took away with the win. You know, they just had people in the right places at the right time, and their organisation was better than Inception.
Okay, cool. We missed the scoreboard. Just running through a couple of the top kills that we did see at the end there. Red Panda doing most of the work there for the guys from Inception. 38 kills, 22 deaths for him. Dude doing a good job for Inception. 36 kills for him. 35 for Wolfie. Over on Volatile, we did have 36 for Shipsy, Generic with 34, and Rumples with 33. So great work from both teams in there. Lots of kills coming over. Really, really well. 103 to 39 was the overall score in favour of Volatile for that first round. I might cross to Lemmi to wrap up his thoughts for the night.
Yeah, that was a great match, man. I reckon the biggest turning point for Inception was in that first round, where it was just so close, and then out of nowhere it just seemed like Volatile just did this one big zerg and it was over. So I wouldn't get too down. Inception really did come to fight tonight. They did well. They won that second round. They could have easily won that first round. Just bad luck to them, because like Sai said earlier, man, Volatile just had some blokes in the right places at the right time, and yeah, no, it was a thrill to watch, man. I'm happy to be here, and yeah, just thanks for everyone tuning in, and yeah.
Excellent stuff. Psyfox, anything to say before we round out?
Yeah, I've probably waffled on a whole bunch about Inception, but I really would like to see them practice a whole lot more, considering they've just come from the PS3 scene, and I'm sure that the tactics...
they did. I'll actually fix that up. Yeah, they came across a year ago. It was just
really?
something that was on their page that I researched before going into it. So they have been active for a while in the PC scene. Looks like they're not lacking in skills by any means. I think that they can mix with the best of it, and they did manage to take away a round. So yeah, what were we saying, sorry mate?
I was just saying, I haven't seen him around the competitive scene at all, and you know, like in the scrims, that's kind of where you really learn how players play in the competitive scene. You can't just, you know, get a whole bunch of people into a pub game and expect to use those same tactics to win a public match as you do in a competitive game. And like, I haven't seen any of the players around myself personally, and if they get a lot more experience, I think that they could, you know, start performing a hell of a lot better, and you know, maybe a little bit of a team to look out for, especially considering they knew how to do the coordinated attacks. Like, I don't see that too often